Welcome to this educational video, and I'm going to talk in a way that no one ever talks to each other.
Welcome to the rabbit hole. Here in the rabbit hole, we just do it. We just do it! Yeah, just do it! Anyways.
Welcome to the rabbit hole. Beautiful people. Sorry.
Damn, you dropped to your knees like Elvis or something.
I know, I just love you guys so
Hell
much.
yeah.
You guys just keep tuning in. I don't know why, but I love y'all. I appreciate You guys are melting me out of my seat.
You just melting his heart right down out of the seat.
You just melt my damn thing.
You just melt my damn krill cheese. I guess we'll come into this one just by saying, as always, we don't recommend or, is the right word, condone people using illegal substances. This is simply a fictional tale from another world that I'm just bringing to you guys.
No longer exists.
Yeah, don't worry about it. No, but in all seriousness, it's a trip report from quite a few years ago. See, if you've been following this channel, you already know we got trips for days just coming out the pocket. You need another trip? Boom, here's another one.
We get that shit.
And another one. Another 1,000. You smart. You loyal. Here's another one. You know? That's us with, like, trip reports.
Yeah, there's honestly so many, it's hard to, like...
But this one, this is a special one. This is a special trip report, because this is my very first experience with LSD, also known as acid, also known as Lucy. Are there any other ones? That's good. Fuck. I don't know where to go. I
felt like you were like the Rock from WWE. I was like, what's your name? It doesn't matter. You go back on. Is there another one? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Fuck.
No, yeah.
So if you don't know about LSD, a lot of people...
Fucking Google it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. A, Google it. B, watch our LSD for beginners videos. C, I'll get into whatever I'm going to say. I always thought of it, when I was a kid, I associated it with harder drugs, like some cocaine or heroin and things like that. And it's very unfortunate, because it's mainly just because of the name, acid. And now, if you know me or follow this channel, you already know I think very highly of psychedelics like LSD. So, back to the beginning. Okay. I, for a long time, swore off doing a drug like acid because of the name, and it sounded scary. And this trip was my first experience with it, and for a long time, I considered it a bad trip. I would tell this story to people and be like, oh, bro, I had a bad trip on acid. I took 5 hits, blah, 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 blah. And now, looking back, I don't consider it a bad trip at all. I consider it like just a really impactful, life-changing experience, I guess I would call it. Like most LSD trips tend to be.
Right. Whether
they're really good or really bad, they're usually life-changing in some way. Okay, I'll get into this shit.
How old were you? Started off from the very beginning.
Okay, so I was in high school. I want to say I was like 16 or 15 years old, somewhere in there. I was like a sophomore, freshman. Yeah, it was somewhere in that range. Maybe it was the summer between freshman and sophomore year. I don't even remember. At the time, I had done mushrooms, but just a couple trips, nothing crazy. It was all laughy, good times. And I had also done ecstasy a few times, but I already was kind of like, yeah, that's not really my thing. Too much mixed stuff in it, too much problems with pills. Anyways, so in high school, you know, the park days, the park we used to hang out at, you could basically, we're like 14, 15, 16 years old, and because of this park located right next to our high school, the people there, you had access to any drug you wanted. Any drug. Doesn't exist anymore, probably for the better.
Yeah, they put a building on top of it.
Yeah, parking garage here. Nobody.
No more drugs.
Yeah, so I had no idea what this drug even really was. I only knew its name, which is, I knew it as acid. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how long it lasted. I didn't know what it felt like. But I knew I had access to it. So I finally made the decision I was going to try this shit. I think I was just experimenting with shit because I'd done mushrooms and ecstasy. I'm like, all right, now what?
When we were also like into the whole rock and roll phase, you know, Black
the Doors,
Sabbath, the
yeah.
Doors. So I was like, yeah,
totally.
We're going to fucking take it and play music,
Be the Lizard King, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be so manageable, bro. Let's do it.
So I ended up getting it. That morning, I was going to school, and that's basically where I get it, is at school, and I was on the bus going to school that morning, and I told someone I was on the bus with, it's like, I'm going to do acid tonight. And they were like, oh man, whatever you do, just don't do it alone. And my plan the whole time was to do it alone. So I'm just like, wait, what, bro? I'm going to watch Lord of the Rings, I'm going to play guitar, it's going to be fucking sick. So like, I was just like, kind of just blew off whatever he said. And I went to school, I got it. The person didn't have gel tabs or blotter paper, they had the liquid, and we're at school, so obviously there's a lot of binder paper around. So he basically ripped off strips of binder paper, and he ripped me off 5, I think like 5 for 25, that's not even important. And it's just strips of binder paper.
Which is nice.
I don't know. I've never taken this drug, so I'm like, apparently I just eat this binder paper and I get high. I don't fucking know how this
you're not
works.
supposed to put on. I mean, I guess if you're doing it right then and there,
I was doing it
I guess storing it's not.
It was
good
just a
that
few
way,
hours. 'Cause I think I got it right after school, so it'd be about 3
So you
o'clock.
probably get away with like.
And then I took it about 5 or 6 o'clock that
Yeah.
day. So
We're
like 2 or
like-
3 hours on binder paper.
Because like blotter paper, it's more spongy, so it's better
Yeah.
at protecting it.
Well,
So I guess that's
maybe
good
they
you did it
were
right
weak,
away.
and maybe that's why this went the way it
Well, if
did.
you did it right away though, that's probably why it was strong. Because
About 2 or 3 hours.
I've had them drop on candy before, and I took them the same day I've had them dropped on candy. It was powerful as fuck. Took the same dose like maybe 2 weeks later. It was like nothing.
Yeah, when I've done it on candy, it's been pretty mild.
Like, I mean, it wasn't intense like blotter. I'm just saying it was way stronger than the second time.
Yeah,
like, it
'cause
felt
it was more
like
fresh.
diminished. Yeah, because it wasn't covered or. But anyway, sorry. That's all.
No,
So yeah, it was dropped on binder paper, and he gave you 5 of them. Or no, was it all 5 from him? 'Cause I thought you got some more from someone else because you were like, "This isn't gonna work."
no, I had 5.
Oh,
I know how this goes. I know how this goes.
Damn.
So I had 5, and so it's about 5 or 6 o'clock now at my house. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take these things. I'm gonna get into it. And I took like 1, I think, and then I just played this video game that I had rented, this Gladiator game or whatever the fuck. And then I waited like 20 minutes or something, and I didn't feel anything. So I like maybe maybe it was less time. Maybe it was 10 minutes or
When
something.
you're a
I
kid,
don't
you're
know.
so impatient.
Yeah, you're just playing games. You're like, I don't feel shit. So I went over in my fucking headboard, took another one, and then waited another 20 minutes. Now, like, it's been like 40 minutes, at least in my head at the time. So I'm like, okay, I've taken 2. I'm not feeling anything. I'm thinking of it like ecstasy. Like, each one's a pill. So I'm like, I should be blasted right now. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take all of them, the last 3 that I have, in case they are just really weak, like get drained out or whatever, and that way hopefully I at least get something. And then if I don't get anything, I'll just rip off binder paper and be like, here man, I don't want them, I want my money back. So
I would do that now, but not then.
yeah, no,
Especially if you have no idea.
my first trip ever, and I'm like in
"One
high
baby
school by
bird."
myself. Fuck. So at this
Oh,
point,
man.
I still didn't really feel like I was feeling anything, so I moved on from the game on PlayStation 2, and I moved on to my guitar, which like was playing my Flying V, and it just felt really cool. Just fucking shredding, bro. And then
Randy Rhodes, bro.
exactly, that's how I felt at the time. I think I was feeling it, and I just didn't know what I was feeling, because you don't know the substance yet. So I'm just really
Yeah.
enjoying playing guitar. I'm not feeling shit. And
Until
then my sister knocks on my door, and this is where I found out that I was feeling something, because my sister knocks on my door, and I'm like, come in, I'm playing guitar. She opens the door, and instantly when she walks in, I just like look hell at her face, and I'm like, what is that? No, I look at her face, and I'm like, what is that? And like what I could see was like what appeared to me to be how everything's made up of atoms or whatever. Like I thought I could see the individual like cell structures all over her, but each cell structure was a tiny little Jimi Hendrix head with the afro. I think it's because like it was like taken from the shirt that I would wear that was probably in my head. So like I just look at her face and I'm like, what's all over your face? Because I just see like little Jimi Hendrix heads everywhere. And then she just instantly like slams my door shut and is like, what are you on? And I was like, oh shit. Now I'm aware I'm fucked up clearly because I'm seeing Jimi Hendrix heads. And then I tell her I'm on acid, and she basically like kicked it with me for like a good hour or so, just like, which kept me cool, because when you're on acid you don't really want to be chilling by yourself, but I didn't know that at the time obviously. So it was all good while we were kicking it. And then eventually she left. She was going to her boyfriend's or whatever, so then I just go back to playing guitar, but I'm like, fuck, I'm kind of bored. So my mom was downstairs watching TV, watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So I went downstairs and watched that with her while like checking my MySpace, you know, look over, catch the movie, laugh, whatever. And then that was all good too, because I'm still not alone. You're not really like stuck with your thoughts. You're distracted still and everything. And then after the movie was over, she went upstairs and went to bed. And then I'm like, fuck. Now I'm just like, for the first time, I'm on acid. I'm by myself, and I'm stuck with my thoughts. I'm like, this is fucking weird. I smoked cigarettes at the time, and I was just like lighting one with the butt of the other, just like chain smoking these things. So at that point, I went back up to my room and I got back on that Gladiator game I was playing, but I felt like I just beat it hella fast. Like all of a sudden the game was over, and I'm like, now it's like fucking like, now it's like, it wasn't God of War, but it was some type of Gladiator game.
I think it probably was called Gladiator.
Probably.
I remember a PlayStation 2 game.
It was pretty cool.
So
yeah, now it's probably like maybe it's like midnight, 1 a.m. I don't know, somewhere in that range, and I beat the game. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So at this point, I put on, I'm like, I'm going to stick to the game plan and put on Lord of the Rings, like I originally said I was going to do. And I put in Lord of the Rings, and like the very first 10 minutes of like the Fellowship of the Ring, the first one, it like takes place like back in the day during this war, and all these orcs are everywhere and people are dying everywhere, and I was just like 10 minutes in, I was like, this is not the movie to watch while tripping. I was thinking it'll look cool, the elves and the forest and shit, and instead I'm just looking at orcs in a war, and I'm just like turn this off. So I'm like, fuck, maybe I'll just go to bed, lay down, can't sleep. Found that out pretty quick. Yeah, exactly. Right. See, I didn't know anything about the drug, and I'm gonna stop for a minute, make a public service announcement. This is why it's more important to educate people about drugs than it is to just make them illegal and criminalize people who are using them. Because I view psychedelics like LSD as some of the most helpful tools I've had in my life. And yeah, at the time I didn't know anything about it, so I used it very poorly and didn't have a good night.
And it could have impacted you negatively. People have ended their lives, and
I was gonna say it got very depressing at times. Yeah,
or just think they're just so blasted, not aware and educated. Like there's stories like that from Amsterdam. People go travel there, they jump off of buildings because they're just so blasted. And it's not like because it's illegal. I might now, take that out. Now that is true. People go, what the fuck?
You'd always look at that, but now. It's not like because they're illegal, people aren't going to take them. I was at like 15 years old, had access to this shit, and I don't even know how long it lasts or what it feels like.
Yeah.
Stupid. So.
When you're at that age, you're not thinking to like that.
No.
Like nowadays, like test kit, how long does it last?
I was just thinking like I've taken ecstasy at home before and played guitar, and it was cool.
And YouTube wasn't like. Didn't have as many videos on that topic as they do now. When we were like
YouTube was younger then.
Yeah, like you were getting people putting out weird like home videos that they made.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't like you didn't have psych substance like or any of that. Now,
there wasn't a whole lot of education.
NeuroSoup was one of the first. I think that's what it was called. It was one of the first channels I remember that came out that took off.
I don't even think I've ever seen that one.
It was a girl, but she used to just kind of do a psych substance, like she would admit. She's like, I just kind of read off of Arrowwood. If you guys are young, go to Arrowwood. They have information on any substance, whether it's caffeine, anything.
Arrowwood, yeah.
Sorry.
They got a lot of good information. So does even Reddit has some good information on it too if you search in there.
There's like a pilltripreport.com too. So if you ever get like an ecstasy pill, for sure test it.
Same with LSD.
Same with LSD. First off, we're not encouraging you to do drugs, but if you're gonna do it, test it. Go to Arrowwood and also check out these different websites. Go and you learn about your stuff. So that way you're not like him.
Exactly.
Where you're 15 years old taking.
I haven't even entered the darkness yet. So this is really
bring it back.
All right. Yeah. Go back to the story. This is really where it started to turn for the negative because like now it's like 1 a.m. I'm by myself, tossing and turning, fucking sweating, can't sleep, don't know like. Thoughts are just crazy. You feel like you're going crazy. You don't know how long this is gonna last. You're like, fuck. And then so I'm like, all right, I'll put on some music. And I was just hell into metal at the time, so I went into on-demand Comcast shit, and I went to go to an Avenged Sevenfold music video. And before it played the music video, it played a Guar commercial. And the Guar commercial, like, I didn't listen to Guar at the time. I later became a huge fan, but not that night. So when they first came on the screen, it was just the singer Odorous. For those of you who don't know Guar, it's like this crazy alien monster thing, and he looked scary as fuck, and he's like jumping around on the camera, doing all this crazy shit, yelling, and it was just like Lord of the Rings. I didn't even make it through the whole commercial. I just turned my TV off. I was like, fuck this, I'm out. Went back into my bed, no TV, no music, and just fucking put the blankets over me, just like freaking out, sweating basically. And all of a sudden, like in my head, it wasn't really happening, but in my head, that singer, like Odorous, was now in my room, just like stomping on my dresser, like on my furniture, like stomping around the room.
Your eyes are closed. You're probably having full-on visuals, but you're not aware that your eyes are closed because you're hallucinating.
And I'm seeing what I had just seen when the TV was on, which was him stomping around on the screen.
Well, because that's the weird thing about psychedelics. You'll get closed-eye visuals, but if you don't know that, because it's your first time doing it, you're like, oh, my eyes were open. Because I was seeing things.
Right.
I was seeing full-on visuals. No. Your eyes were closed probably.
Exactly.
But you were just seeing your room. And
it just like replays what you've seen almost. It does that a lot. Like I said with the Jimi Hendrix heads. It's like replaying the
it's like a
just
dream.
the logo you have in your head.
Seen, but it's playing it back.
It's weird. They're like in a weird state where there's like normal life, waking reality. Then there's like dream state, which is like technically another form of reality. And I swear to God, the psychedelic world, it's like you're in another reality.
Yeah.
Fuck. But
weird stuff.
So I'm not having a good time at this point. I'm just
so Odorous, which is rest in peace, right? He's passed away.
Rest in peace, Odorous.
Odorous is just breaking your shit.
Yeah, so eventually I'm like, fuck, I have to face this. I have to face this head on. So I fucking like throw the blankets off of me, and of course he's not in there. And then so I fucking... You're like, hold on,
I'm not afraid anymore! You hear me?
Hey, but that's a small metaphor for what psychedelics will do for you.
Yeah,
like they do make you face things. Yeah.
Fuck it.
And so, of course, just like probably 100% of my LSD or mushroom trips, I ended up moving from my bed to my floor and just laying on my floor with a blanket over me, and no music, no TV. And from whatever time it was on, like 2 or 3 a.m. on, I really just laid on my floor, fucking looking up at, my ceiling had like posters and stupid shit on it. So I'm just like laying at on my floor, thinking, looking at shit. Every once in a while you get up, look at yourself in the mirror, smoke a cigarette, smoke a bowl. At the time I'm like smoking weed out of the fucking can. But it was just a fucking long, rough night of just really just thinking and really being like depressed, the fact that I'm there doing that drug alone. That guy from the beginning was right when he said, whatever you do, don't take it alone. Terrence McKenna, he's onto something with the 5 grams in Silent Darkness, but I also think that you should do it with someone first who you can trust.
Yeah. Just to get used to it, but also with LSD, I could be wrong, this is my opinion, and I heard Aubrey Marcus say this before too, but mushrooms, I get the vibe, which makes it sound kind of creepy, at least for me though. I get the vibe that I'm not alone when I take mushrooms. Like I feel like something's guiding it. With LSD, I feel like it's the first time I'm in control of myself, which can get a little weird. Because you're like, I didn't even realize I don't like the shit that I do.
I'll go down this rabbit hole a little bit further with you.
Oh shit.
Mushrooms.
Rabbit hole! Oh man.
Mushrooms. Dude, you gotta get your own rabbit hole, bro. Gotta get your own rabbit hole. Get out with those. Fucking mushrooms. Apparently, I'm just repeating shit I've heard from scientists on podcasts and shit. Apparently, mushrooms, funguses, or however you want to pronounce that, fungi, I'm going to say mushrooms, they're the longest living organism on the planet. They live longer than humans, animals, bugs, or plants, like longer than trees and shit. Apparently, mushrooms have been alive the longest. So
I'll let you finish.
I was going to say, how do you survive that long, longer than the dinosaurs, longer than plants and everything, up till now in these current times, without learning to survive and communicate with your environment and change it if you need to in order for your survival to keep going? So maybe I'm reaching here. What?
And isn't that what organisms do? They evolve in a way to figure out how to survive.
Exactly. So wouldn't it make sense if these mushrooms found a way to communicate with the people? I think it's safe to say that we're like the highest species on the food chain as far as dominating the planet, except the ocean. That's not us.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it make sense if the mushrooms found a way to communicate with that species to help them survive in the long run?
Or not to destroy the planet that the mushrooms live on.
I'm saying that's why you see from psychedelic users like mushrooms, they tend to be
hugging trees and shit.
Hugging trees, more open to change, less about violence and war. That's where all this shit comes in. But that was just a different rabbit hole.
Well, aren't mushrooms... I'm going to figure it out and I'll bring it up on a different video. But I read somewhere or heard somewhere that mushrooms are closer related to people than plants.
Right. They, I'm going to fuck it up, but they breathe oxygen and release carbon. Yeah, the same as us.
They're almost made up the same percentage of water as us or something like that.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating. I mean, it's almost naive to think that they haven't found a way to communicate, but they've been around longer than plants and dinosaurs, though. But they're just like doing their own thing. They just so happen to be making it. Like, no, man.
Mushrooms are so weird. Just the fact that they exist.
Yeah. So you know what? Maybe if you are doing psychedelics alone, maybe even do mushrooms alone first to get a good message from the planet itself, I like to think, and then try LSD on your own, because this was my first psychedelic alone.
Right. Well, that's what I learned from doing it, is that I like to take a mushroom trip and learn what the mushrooms want to tell you, and then take LSD, because I feel like LSD helps me figure out how to integrate with the mushrooms lessons, where it's like, okay, well, that's not where society is right now. There's 6 billion people doing this, so how do I go about doing that in a smarter way? And then you take some LSD and it's like, oh, but if I go like this,
it's almost like LSD helps you, okay, this is where I'm at with mushrooms and what they want me to do, and no, this is where society's at, and then LSD is I'm gonna live here in the middle to try to bring some harmony to this shit.
It's like your yin and yang broken and it's gonna start bringing it together. Boom.
Fucking, just to wrap up on the story, basically.
Yeah, go on.
I basically ended up staying up all night.
Do you remember what you were thinking about, or was it too long ago?
Well, a lot of it was being depressed that I was alone. Like I said, I wish that someone else was there experiencing it with me, because things were awesome about the trip. Like watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off was awesome. Playing guitar was awesome. Guar turned things down a negative road, I felt like. Right. And I kind of stayed on that negative road. And I was basically up all night just laying on my floor thinking about, I'm not going to do this shit alone again, A, but B, to, I don't know, I guess to be more open to finding people that want to do that kind of shit with you, so that you don't have to do those kinds of things alone. And looking for a relationship, because I did get into a relationship shortly after that. But I stayed up all night laying on my fucking floor until it was time to go to school the next morning. And then I wake up. Next morning. Dude, I was not the same, and that's the thing. I always recommend to people, if you're gonna take a psychedelic, leave the next day open, not because you're going to feel like shit, like you're going to be hungover and you're going to be fried and you won't be able to go to work or go on a hike or anything. It's just smart to give yourself the time to reflect on the trip, because your thoughts are still somewhere else. Like, you're still kind of in that world coming back.
A life-changing experience,
there's no need to get...
Daniel, pay attention. You're like, wait, why are we in Britain or some shit?
I wish. Fucking... I remember, the drive to school... my mom took me to school, obviously, and I just remember feeling hella quiet, felt hella out of it, of course, because I hadn't slept, and also just felt hella different. And, everybody the next day, I told someone in the morning at the park, because we hung out at the park every morning before we go to school. Yeah. I told someone that I took all 5 or whatever and told them about the trip. I probably told a few people. And then throughout the day at school, I was just being quiet, keeping my headphones on, my Bench 7-fold, fucking rocking out. It sounded so dope the next day, too.
You're, probably still tripping.
Exactly. It was magical. So the next day, I was just really quiet thinking about the trip. I had recordings of me playing guitar on acid, which were some of the craziest playings, guitar recordings I ever got of myself. I wish I didn't lose them. But throughout school, when I'm walking to classes or at lunch or whatever, people would run up to me like, "Man, I fucking heard you took 5 hits," and they all want to fucking hear about it and shit. But it's just I'm just not even interested in really talking about it. 'Cause I think that's part of why I was getting depressed and lonely and shit, was just nobody's gonna be able to relate to this, no matter how I articulate it. Yeah. They didn't go through the high and then the low and then just
it's just a waste. It's just
exactly. You're just kind of yeah, man, it was fucking crazy. Yeah. No, what did you see? Blah blah blah. And you're just yeah, and there's no way that words can really even now with the positive LSD trips I've had, you still can't fully articulate it actually how impactful it really was. But yeah, so I think that about ends it. I was not the same the next day, and then went home, probably went about my normal fucking life. Didn't do it again for a good year or 2 until I got into my whole first high school love relationship thing, and then I did it with her and friends, I think. I did both, and they were all really fun experiences. So I don't want to sell this as a negative...
No,
I don't want to give a negative look on LSD, but it's just the reality. No. It can go very wrong if you don't know
what you're getting into.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think is that it had to be. I think it's just 1, you didn't know what it was. 2, you took way too much, and 3, you were alone. I think it's just the it was just
bad combo.
Bad combo, but at the same time, I want to know, how did it compare intensity-wise to the 5 hits when we did it? Which we still have to do a video on that. Like, strength-wise, what was it like?
That was the dimension hopping one. Yeah.
The 5
we definitely need to do a trip report on that.
That was the strongest I've ever done.
That was the strongest LSD experience I've ever had visually, and as far as feeling like I'm in another dimension.
But not scared, because you're not even there with that trip. It was like being gone. It's like
that's the thing. You can't compare them. It's like...
They're different.
Yeah, it's like comparing like your favorite foods. It's like, well, nah, man, but I like pizza, but I also like tamales.
Yeah.
Like, that trip was very intense because it was my first, and I was alone, and I'm like taking it all in for the first time. But the 5 hits when we did it was way more powerful as far as mind expanding. And I'm at an older. Now that I'm older, I can assess the whole thing differently, and it's more like I almost have more like a DMT outlook on our 5 hit night.
That was like DMT.
Yeah, it was like I was not here in this world. I was seeing some other shit, some other whole. I was in a kaleidoscope moving, basically.
Yeah. It was cool because it was acid too, so it was like you took so much that you're having DMT visuals for a long time.
Fuck, dude, that was a crazy one.
We'll have to do one. But anyway, we'll save that. That's a little teaser, but we'll do that too.
Yes, we'll do that one too.
But
and I think if you are watching this video and you've been following this channel, if you haven't already seen them, I would recommend, if you watched this trip report, I would recommend watching the LSD for Beginners video, and then the other trip report of mine on the channel. What's it called? Like, First Ego Death Experience, something like that.
Yeah.
LSD First Ego, or no, Mushroom First Ego Death Experience.
Right.
This was a bad trip, and I had fun trips after that, but that trip was when they really made me do a 180 in my life. Whatever you want to call it, 360, 180.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, we'll wrap this shit up. Thank y'all for checking out this video.
See y'all next week.
Yes!